coaches, they say you need to know your stats about your strategy, like what you trade, know those stats, know the numbers, but they never tell you really what stat, like what number, what rule. Good morning, traders. Coming to you this morning from the airport in Puerto Vallarta. I'm going to take a flight to Mexico City in a few hours, and we'll talk about your strategy today. I guess a quick interruption here. We are back in Canada. The rest of the video is going to be in Mexico. But for that point, I want to go straight to the point and tell you about the stats on your trading strategy. Now, you hear everywhere online. People say, the coaches, they say, you need to know your stats about your strategy, like what you trade, know those stats, know the numbers, but they never tell you really what stat, like what number, what rule. So I want to go through those today. I want to do the three main ones you should look at and keep in mind all the time. First one is really basic. I just want to make sure you know it and you apply it properly. And the other two ones are more advanced. But don't worry, it's all super easy to calculate, very simple. So let's jump right in. So the first statistic I really believe you should calculate with your trading strategy is simply the reward to risk that you get on average and the win rate. Now, if you don't know these numbers, these are really basic to get. You can get them anywhere in any platform, anything you look at. It's going to be easy to find. But just make sure you know them. Like on a trade that you take, what is your risk and what is your reward? Is it 2 times bigger than the risk? Or 1 time bigger, 5 times bigger? It doesn't matter. As long as you know the number. And then go back and look at your win rate. So how often you win trades. Now, a couple years back, a trading coach asked me this, what is my win rate? And I said, well, I don't know. It's probably about 40% because I lose money. But I didn't understand at this point that it's not because you have a low win rate that you lose money. That's why you want to combine both factors, the win rate and the reward to risk, the average reward you get on the trade. Now, if you want to know whether what you trade now is profitable, it's really simple. Do your win rate times your average reward. So let's say in my case it would be, let's say 40% times 2, because I get 2 to 1 of reward to risk on my trade on average. And then do that number minus your losing rate times the risk. So in that case it would be 60% times 1. In that case, you end up with 0.2 at the end. So that's a profitable strategy. Perfect. Now, this doesn't mean that it's going to be perfect all the time and there's going to be losing streak for sure, which brings us to statistic number 2 to calculate. That one I believe to be really important. It's called the maximum losing streak. So when you do a backtesting of like 10 years or whatever time you decide, how many trades you lose in a row? Or how far can you go into a loss in your account without recovering? Okay? Because you could have a bunch of losing trades, but then you have one winning trade and then a bunch of losing trades. That happens. That's really frequent. But just understand like how many trades you're going to lose in a row over time. And that number becomes the benchmark number. So what you're going to say when you lose is you say, until I get to that point of like 10 losses in a row, which is totally acceptable in my opinion. Until I get to 10 losses in a row, I cannot do anything. I just trade the same way, just do everything as I'm supposed to do. And I wait. I wait till I overcome 10. Now, at number 10, this is where you need to have a reality check. What happens? Is it you the problem or is it the strategy, the market? Usually it's going to be you. It could be the market, but just understand that you need to check what happens now and do a whole analysis. Print your trades on paper if you need to, have them on your desk, review all of them, and you'll find out the answer pretty easily. But the key point to remember with this is that until you get to the maximum number of trades you lose in a row, don't try to innovate when you trade live. It's just going to be a disaster and it's going to be tougher to do the same thing all the time, and the result will vary too much, and that will not be good. So you want to wait till you get to the right point and then start to change things if you really need to. But before that, there's no need, and it's going to be a waste of time. And that's going to bring us to statistic number 3. Now, what you see so far is that both statistics we have now are about the market and your strategy. They're about the win rate and the reward to risk. Those two go together. They are about what you trade in the market. The other one is also about what you trade. But there is one factor, one very important factor, that will determine how you rank yourself. What is your score in the market? And this is called the compliance level. How compliant are you with what you trade now? And this is basically a measure of whether you execute your plan right in the market or not. Either it's yes or it's no. And you should set yourself a number for this, like a specific goal that you want to achieve. 95% compliance level will be a good measure for really good traders. Below that is fine if you want to start things slow, build up and become better. Totally fine. The way you calculate this is that you go through all your trades, you figure out which one are good trades and bad trades, you classify them, of course. Good doesn't mean winning, bad doesn't mean losing. You have to be careful here. Understand what is good, what is bad. Divide the total number of good trades out of all the trades you took for that period, and then you'll find the answer. That's the percentage of time you are compliant with your plan. It's a pretty good score of whether or not you'll reach your goals. If you're too far from there, if it's like at 70%, which means that only 70% of the time you respect your plan, 30% you don't, then that's an issue. That's something you want to correct. That's something you want to increase. Make it a goal for next month to get to 75%. Then make it a goal to get to 80 and 90 and so on until you get to 95% compliance level. But that takes time, I agree, it's for sure. As long as you put in the effort and you try to move forward with goals, you will get there. Hope that makes sense, guys. We're done with the 3 metrics. So to recap, average reward to risk with the win rate. Second one, maximum losing streak. And the third one is about your compliance level. Track those, make sure you understand those, keep note of them every week, and you'll see a big difference. Now, with that being said, we'll get back to Mexico. Let's get started with that day. Here we go with the short 1 hour flight. 1 hour 25, I think. And back to Mexico City after I think 11 days of not being here. Didn't change too much, pretty much the same airport, a lot of people. Let's get the suitcase now. I've been walking for a good 15 minutes to come to this baggage claim area, but the suitcase are not here yet, so still have to wait a little bit. Okay guys, so I made it to Mexico City in the hotel room, but I almost lost my suitcase. When I got out of the Uber, the driver started to go right away, and I had my suitcase in the back. So of course I was able to kind of stop him before he left too far. Not sure if that's a distraction or voluntary, but in both cases it's not that cool. But anyway, let me go grab food, I'm really hungry. So guys, I hope you liked that video today. I've been quite busy the past 2 days. We're doing some changes with the academy and it's a lot of work, but it's gonna be really worth it. Comment below if you thought. As always, give a like if you enjoyed this video today. And don't forget to subscribe. And keep in mind, if you're subscribed, click the bell next to the subscribe button. That's gonna send you a notification when I publish a new video. And you don't want to be the guy missing all of them. That's not cool. So click that bell for sure. And I'll catch you back here tomorrow. Ciao. Please don't talk about